Okay, so here's a little story from this book by Txomin Agirre from 1898, and it's in kind of a weird coastal dialect, but anyways, it's about some evil mermaids. So this old man is going to tell a Basque fable, like a little bit of mythology, and it says right there, it's starting right here. Ia agindueban Arnaldok. Arnaldo is like the master of the house. Hey, said Arnaldo, Gustiak batu siranean, when everyone was all together. Hey, Pedro Mari, gaur jardunerako gogo handirik ez daukat. I don't really feel like speaking today. Eta esan eiguzu zeuk ipuin bat. You tell us a story. Asko da kisus ba. Da. Because you know a lot of them. You know a lot of stories. Asko es, not a lot. Baina, jauna, batzuk bai. But some. Erantzuneban Pedro Marik. Txiki txikitatik olango gauzetarako guztiz gogotsua izan naz. Since I was little, I've always enjoyed those kinds of things. Gure aitonak gabero, ta gure aitak be inoiz bai. Our grandfather every single night, and our father as well sometimes, esaten euskuesan antzinako euskaldunen gertaldi batzuk, would tell us some ancient Basque happenings. Osabasarretatik aotik aura ikasirakoak, learned from one old uncle to the other. Orain gogoratuten jatana neure ama sanari entzundakoa da. The one that I am remembering now, or the one that comes to my mind now, my deceased mother told me, was one that my deceased mother told me. Asi bada asi, start then, start, telling us. Esateneutzen moroi gazteak sarenari, the young house servants told the old man. Garai bateko egunetan munduan, once upon a time, in the old times, in the world of the old times, Lamiñak eisiran, there used to be mermaids. Asisan esaten gure otseinia. Our old man started telling the story. Se siran Lamiñak. What were mermaids? Itandu eutzen. They shouted, they called out. Lamiñak eisiran gorputzaren erdia emakumeena, ta beste erdian arainaren langoa euken esate gaisto batzuk. Mermaids were some evil creatures that were half woman and half fish. In some Basque stories, they're half duck. Mila angeroak, 1,000 angels. Eta non ego samba, and where did they used to be? Sirautzan, Ana Mari senako neskacho sabal ogipeko batek. 1,000 angels, and where did they used to be? Said Ana, a large or like fat servant girl named Ana Mari said. Ichaswan batzuk ontziak ondoratuteko. Some of them were in the ocean to sink ships. Ibaietan beste batzuk, beste asko. And some others in the rivers. Igarira joaten ziran gizonak itotearen, to drown men that went there to get a drink of water. Ereslari onak eisiran. They were said to be very good singers. Gustiskoak, totally good singers. baina euren eresia entzuten geldituz gero, but if you stop to listen to their song, galdua izan gizona. The man was lost. Pitinka, pitinka, little by little, konorta kendu, losing consciousness, eurakana eroan ta ito egiten eban edosein. They would take anyone into the river and drown them. Eraldi batean, at one time, oso ugaritu eisiran Bizkaiko arati aldean dagon Lamiñareka deitzen deritzon ibaitxoan. At one time, there were a lot of them. It's said that there were a lot of them in the town of Bizkaia named Arate, in the river named the River of the Mermaids. Alango jaingoikoaren sigorrak es eida ikusi. And at that time, there was no punishment from God. That sentence is kind of weird. Okay. Es han, es edan, es lo, esin, eisan, eseregin. They couldn't eat, they couldn't drink. I think it's talking about the town people. They couldn't sleep, they couldn't do anything. Koipachubat gertauta jatera ko asmoan segosanean. When they sat to eat anything, or like a little bit of fat, koipachu is like fat. When they sat to eat a little bit of fat, zaust. Sartzen e san echera leotik barura. Something would come in through the window. Eta sapobat botatzen e eutzen koipachura. I think sapo might be frog from Spanish, but then there's also a fish called sapo in Basque. So I'm not sure if it's talking about the sapo, like the frog word in Spanish, because in Basque it's a different word. And then there's the fish called sapo. So anyways, the mermaid would throw like a fish or like a frog in their fat that they were cooking. Ardau edo edo esne pishkavat aura eroateko aduinian, and when they tried to take a little bit of wine or a little bit of water or a little bit of milk to their mouth, zaust. Lamiñak ke sulotik bera, a mermaid through the chimney, ta sapo andi sikin bat ardoara. They would throw a big dirty frog. I think it's talking about a frog. They would throw a huge dirty frog into the wine, edo urera, edo esnetera, or into the water, or into the milk. Lotara sartzen sinyan orduan, and when you wanted to go to bed, down, down, atea, you would hear a down, down on the door. Seinda, who's there? Ta Lamiña, a mermaid, they would yell. Or the mermaid. Serbe ardusu, what do you need? Eregisu ateori, open the door. Sertarhako, why? Eregiten espadosu, if you don't open it, sure erukaria, you'll be sorry. Da eregi egin bear, and they had to open it, the door. Da anse, and apparently beregas goiseko orduetaraño ikaras egon bear, and they had to be with the mermaid in fear until the early hours of the morning. It's like so weird. The mermaids are everywhere. And I don't know why they're like not in the ocean or in the river. They're like entering into people's houses. Baina etzegoen norbait Lamiñok bein honetatik kendu situanik, but there was no one that could get the mermaids out of there, who could get rid of the mermaids. Itandu eutzen ostera bere be Pedro Mariri. they yelled out to Pedro Mari, "There's no one that can get the mermaids out of there?" Anyways. Seingero, who next, or something like that. Erantzun eban onek, he answered. Gizonik indartsuenak adore bage geldituten eisiran Lamiñak ikustean bakarrik. Even the strongest men were left without courage, with just at the sight of the mermaids. Eta es eisan inor asartuten euren contra il edo bisi jokatutera. And there was no one and they said that there was no one that would even try, or try to fight against them in life or death. Erriaskotako jendeak goseak egarriak eta bildurak amaitu behar situan. And lots of townspeople were thirsty, hungry, and in fear. Bein baten, one day, etorisan Euskal Herrira kampotar onbat. A good foreigner came to the Basque country. Eliskisona edo alangoa, a churchman, or something like that. Paperetik bera gurutze ederbat evala. He had a beautiful church, or a beautiful cross on his chest. He wore like a cross on his chest. Takampotar orek esan eban berak eseu kala laminien belurik. And they said that this foreigner didn't have any fear of the mermaids. Eta gurutzearen izenean kenduko situala Lamiñok gure luretatik. And that in the name of the cross he would get rid of the mermaids from the land. He said that to them. Inyok es eutzan siniestu. No one believed him. Baina alambe gizona ikusi ebenean ain ausardi handikoa. And nevertheless, when they saw the man with such big courage, danak gura eieben euren etxera eroan. Everyone wanted to take the man to their house. Satos gurera, come to our place. Batak, eta satos gurera besteak, and the other said, come to our place. Ten ortik eta ten emetik soineko gustia bere satitu behar eutzen. That sentence, I don't understand. They had to tear I think he was just like torn from one place to the other or something like that. It's kind of weird. I don't understand that sentence. Sartu eisan bada eche batean. And it said that he entered into one house, tabere atzetik genten andia, and a lot of people came with him into the house. Ba e dagos. They're here, the mermaids. Ikaras gustiak kampotarari isanesik. Everyone was afraid except for the foreigner. Eta oso gautu sanean danensa janari apurrenbat ipintzen egosala. And when it was dark, when it was night, they put a little bit of food down on the table. Down, atea. There was a down at the door. Emendira, they're here. Galduakara, we're lost. Asi eisiran danak. Everyone started. Gurutzedun orek, but the cross-bearing person, man, ate ondora juanda, went by the door. Seinda, who's there? Itandu eyeban, he asked. Lamiña, the mermaid, bestiak kampotik. Eta, the other one said from the other side of the door. Eta orduan gurutze donea esku batean hartuta atea edegiaz and with the cross in one hand, he opened the door. Esan eban eliskisonak, and the churchman said, Alde onekoa basara, if you're good, sartu saites ordu onean. If you're good, or if you're from the good side, come in right now. Banya alde charrekoa basara, but if you're from the evil side, gurutzian ildako jaingoikoak ondatu sait sala infernuko leise suluan. But if you're from the bad side, may the Lord who died on the cross send you into a cave hole of hell, into a deep pit of hell. The awe sanagas patera, and after saying that, chiyoka ta uluka yesegin eban Lamiñak. And after saying that, screaming and yelling, the mermaids ran away. Eta echeatan es eisan geyago besterik agertu. And at that house, they never came back. There was never another mermaid that came back to that house. Y jasuera au jakin sanian barris, and when people found out about what had happened, beste echetako gisonak asis eisiran gurutziak egiten. Other men from other houses started to make crosses. Ariskoak, stone crosses, bordiniaskoak, iron crosses, eta argisariskoak erebai. And I think that's like crosses, like with a candle, like the candle cross. Ariskoak bide gurutzietan ipini eisituen. They put the stone crosses at the crossroads of paths. Bordiniaskoak mendi gainuretan. The iron ones at the top of the mountains. And argisariskoak ate ta leioetan en plata. And the silver ones, maybe it's silver, I'm not sure. Argisari, I'm not sure what that is. Silver crosses on the door and windows. Orduti kaurera es eida ikusi Lamiñarik gure lur eta ibaietan. And from that day forward, they haven't seen, or there hasn't been any mermaids in our waters, on our land, or in our rivers. So anyways, that's the story of how they got rid of the mermaids.